Yo, we are back. It's your boy Brandon.
This is your boy Sam at
Hey
More
man,
Like
this
One
is
on Twitter.
at slightly different B or at slightly diff B on Twitter. Hey man, this is the Listen Up podcast, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. As y'all are coming in, man, we just want to say if you have not hit that subscribe button, man, please hit that subscribe button. It's kind of funny, man. We keep looking at these numbers and we getting like 15, 1600 views an episode, man. But the following count is around 850 something. So that means there's a lot of people listening that ain't hit the button yet, man. So definitely, man, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man, on the YouTube. If you're on Apple, man, hit the button on Apple. Like, make sure you subscribe to your favorite podcast, man. For real, for real.
What's going on, Brandon? What's going on with you?
Hey man, sleepy. You know how it is. You've been through the newborn stages, man. So at this point,
Yeah, man.
he up.
Congratulations on the new baby, man. Congratulations on that.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it for real, man. It's been fun. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Just kind of going through this process all over again. But I forgot, you know what I mean? As my last one was is 11 years old right now. So it's a big, you forget all the stuff you know what I mean, that
Right.
how it was in the beginning. So, going through it has been a challenge. I'll say that, man. A lot of sleepless nights, but it's definitely been fun and rewarding, man.
Mom doing okay?
Mom's doing a whole lot better, man. It was a little, we've had a tough pregnancy, and after a post has also been a little tough, but mom is now doing great, recovering well. Everybody's home, everybody's doing good, man. So that's
That's
what's
a,
up.
that's amazing. That's awesome, man. It is kind of crazy when you have a. I remember when I had when my son was born, and the first 3 days, the doctors all be coming in there checking on the baby, right? And then you be like, all right, cool. Then they be like, all right, y'all can go now. You like, whoa, you want me to just take the little baby home with me? Like I ain't
Yeah,
know I had
no
to.
instructions. Yeah, yeah, you ain't coming no manual or nothing. You ain't got that. Yeah,
Yeah, I got to
yeah,
take the little baby home. Like this is going crazy. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
nah, man, congratulations on that, man. I know since he's been gone, there's been a lot of FSU news. Big time additions coming in today. Today we've secured the big tight end that I was looking forward to. So I'm excited, man. How you feeling about the team so far? About what they
We
got
can't
going
we
on?
can't even get there, man. We got to get to your congratulations, man. Listen up, pod mentioned in the Tampa Bay Times, but specifically, Sam, man, got a
Oh,
follow up article, man, to his five Mike Novell space, man. They wanted to know if he still felt the same way. Basically, it was are you keeping the same energy? Article,
yeah.
and Sam, man, congrats, man. That's really big. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's actually pretty
Uh,
dope.
it's crazy, dude. When he contacted me and asked me that I want to do it, I was like, man, do I really want to do another article about this because so much hatred? But at the same time, I was like, you know what, it'd be good to check in because maybe I can clarify some stuff. And yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought Matt did a pretty good job with it. Some stuff he actually left out, which I found interesting, but I think he did a good job with it. I actually yeah, it was pretty good, man.
No, I actually read the whole thing, man. I thought it was good, man, for real. It was. I think people don't really know where you stand in things. You know what I mean? So it was interesting to kind of see a little bit on. All right, man. Sam just be doing this like for the jokes. Sam just be bored. Sam be bored at work and be like, all right, man. Let me just tweet some. Let me do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like they say, Sam was on his lunch break when that all started off, and it was like, well, all right, I guess we in here for the long haul. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was interesting, man. But that was so spur of the moment, and I think it's crazy because I think it's like maybe like 50 to maybe 100 of us on FSU Twitter that I think we get the joke most of the time when it's happening. We all
Right.
kind of get the joke while it's happening. There's
Right.
like another thousands that don't get the joke, and it makes them so mad. It makes them furious. So I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of funny.
No, no, no. They be mad. Yeah,
Yeah, they be
folks be
mad.
mad.
They be
Yeah,
mad. So,
I've told you a bunch of times. He'll call me and be like, "Boy, they mad about it." I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, you getting lit up right now. You getting lit up right now." He'd be
but
like, "I
yeah,
don't know why
man.
them folks so mad." But yeah, man, it hey man, it is what it is, man. It is what it
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
no, man. But on the Florida State news, man, it's been a wild few weeks, man. You know what I mean? Like the Florida victory kind of took us into a place. All right, well, off season, let's see what happens in off season. Then you hit the off season, and it's like, all right, well, we're gonna add Jaheim Bell.
Yeah.
That's
I
nice.
got a little behind on the scenes on the Jaheim Bell thing. Because I had put the tweet
Speak
out.
on it.
I put the tweet out a month before it happened. I think maybe a month before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have information that he was going to leave South Carolina. I knew he was leaving. I knew that FSU was a place that he wanted to look into. I did possibly put the bug in somebody that might be helping organize some of the behind the scene collectives on their new collectives. I might have had a few words to them to get their shit together. But we did discuss some stuff, and I felt like as long as FSU came up with the right type of package, there was a good chance that we was going to get Jaheim Bell.
So Sam storming the field and recruiting. Well, I love it.
Well, I will. But I will say this though. With FSU, I know last year going into signing day, I know I called you and I sounded the alarm off. I was like, dude, this shit is not finna go the way we think it is. This shit is gonna be bad. Blah 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 blah. And I remember putting it out there. I mean, you talked about it, but I will tell y'all going into this season with the new collective that they have now, Battles In, and the other collectives that we do have, the other two. I actually feel really, good about what FSU is, recruiting wise and going forward with the program. To be honest with you, and y'all know since we started this podcast, I've been like FSU behind the scenes is a fucking mess. It's no longer like that now. I think everybody's on the same page and moving in the same direction. So, I think this program can get back to probably competing for championships again, to be honest with you.
See, and that's a great place that they are at, right? Because at one point, man, it did look like no matter how many games we win, no matter how good we look, the proof of concept, we weren't getting them. But I think the way the college football landscape was changing, I think our behind the scenes still was slacking in some areas that required us to get some of these big time recruits.
Right.
Well, now you've seen, like you said, with Battling and others, we're now able to step into some of these living rooms and be able to talk the same talk that some of these other schools are talking. And that was, I think, the piece that we were missing when we were talking about, well, can we recruit at a high level? Well, no, not when everybody else is playing. If everybody else playing, I'm playing Uno and you playing Skip Bowl, these two different games, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what we were looking at a lot of times, where we were just playing a different game than what everybody else was playing. Well, now it looks like we are on the same footing. Yeah. We're on the same place with other schools now that we've added some collectives and now we're able to add some money to it. So no, I'm feeling really good as well about the recruiting. You could tell just based on what's happened with the returning players. You know what I mean? You could see it then, right? Like, all right, it started, I guess, to take it back a little bit because we have been off a little bit. It started with just players returning. You know what I mean? Players who we didn't think had any shot of coming back. Players who, me and you talked about Jordan Travis coming back, and we said, no, there's no way. I mean, he's probably done with school. We don't know.
Right. But that's a part of Travis. That was a part of having you behind the scenes together. Jordan Travis is not going to come back if your behind the scenes wasn't where it needed to be for your collectives and everything. And I think the fact that now, I don't, this is going to come off negative, but I'm not trying to be negative. But, and I told you this, a lot of these guys don't have NFL futures. You know what I'm saying? Not like,
that's not negative. That's just, that's
they're going to get a cup of coffee in the NFL. I'm not saying they won't go be on a team. I'm just saying, they don't, they're not a lot of the Marcus Jonas, Jalen Ramsey's on the team, right? But those guys can still come back to college and lead this team and could put together a very competitive college football team that can probably, I think they should be odds-on favorites to win the ACC next year, right? I don't think that's crazy at all. And if you can win the ACC, that puts you in a playoff conversation. And the person I talked to that might know something about the money people, the goal and the aim is to give Mike Norvell enough that we could be in the Final Four or be in the playoffs next year. So that's the goal. That's the push that you're seeing behind the scenes from FSU. They want to compete for championships. And I don't think that was always the goal the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So We're in a
How
great
could it
place.
have been? I
Yeah,
mean, I was going to say you had so much, like you said, influx behind the scenes.
yeah,
You didn't have the talent level at quarterback or any other position. You had to, and again, we criticize Mike a little bit. I'm gonna give him some credit for kind of saying, all right, I'm gonna have to bridge the gap with a lot of these transfer players. I know these transfer players don't, what I mean? Y'all may not feel too highly about them, but I'm gonna take some flyers.
right,
Let's hope they're paying out.
right,
And then what happened was Trey Benson came along.
right,
That panned out. Jordan Wilson, up and down, but I think you would say he's been more of a plus than a minus. That panned out.
right.
You know what I mean? Defensively, you got Robinson and Verse. You know what I mean? Like you've added pieces in places where, all right, they all panned out. They all look
Yeah,
good. It all worked perfectly.
right,
And so now that allowed you to kind of put together the season that you have. You know what I mean? And so now you're looking at 9 wins with a possible 10-win season.
right,
Going into next season, you got Jordan Travis as a Heisman, you know what I mean? Candidate.
right.
I don't know if he's favorite, but he's a Heisman candidate, a potential.
Absolutely.
You got, like you said, I think the I don't even think the goal. I would think with this team that you field together, I would think with the schedule that's set up for next season,
Right.
you should be favored to win the ACC. I think when they have ACC media days, I don't think there'll be a single soul who will pick anybody other than FSU. Maybe Clemson. You know what I mean? Maybe, but they'll be starting a new quarterback. We'll have to see how good he is. We've only had a small sample size of him.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, I think to next season going in, I'm picking undefeated. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna look at the schedule and say who should beat them. Florida's not gonna be better. Miami's not gonna be better. Clemson's probably a little close, but I'm still not sure if they're better. Right. So then you look at around the schedule and you look around college football and you say, yeah, Florida State should be in the Final Four next year. Yeah. Well, if you're in the Final Four, you are competing for championships.
Yeah. And I think they're moving different, man. But let's get to the tight ends, man. I think these two tight ends that he got, Jaheim Bell and Murdoch.
And more like who just got a few minutes ago. Yep.
I thought that was the missing piece for Norvell in his offense the last 2 years. His offense is based on them tight ends. You've seen him kind of roll guys out there like Preston and the Rector kid and Cam. And those guys, I'm not saying they're bad football players. I'm just saying there's levels to this thing. And now that we got some good football players, we can speak honestly now, I guess, because before people get a little upset.
Listen, man, we appreciate what those guys did in the time.
Yeah, but it's a
they've
different
been recruited
caliber.
over top of. Yeah. You just got recruited
caliber.
over top of, man.
I think with Bell and Murdoch, what they give you is, man, you can run those two tight end sets, and Bell can split outside a little bit. He could be a big target. It make your offense just that much versatile, man. You talking about putting those two tight ends on the field and you throw Trey Benson in there, and any type of formation you run with that, I mean, you're gonna kill it. I mean, you can run zone read. I mean, you can fake the zone read, these pop passes that Norvell love to run, and you basically guarantee yourself one-on-ones on the outside with Johnny Wilson and whoever else you got on the other outside. I mean, you're basically guaranteeing yourself one-on-one because those safeties have to come up and help guard those tight ends, and And I mean, it's just this offense gonna be able to score 35 points, in my opinion, with ease. With those tight ends, I don't see a way that they could be shut down against the ACC. Period.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. These are good problems. Like you said, Mike Norvell's offense is built around tight ends and running backs. That's what you know what I mean. That's how he likes to run his offense. So now you've given him two, I'm gonna say elite tight ends. Yeah. You got 3 elite running backs. You have an elite quarterback. Your offensive line is going to be above average. I think we could say to probably
good. They're gonna have to still go in the portal and get. I think one.
They got one on campus. Yeah, they got one on campus.
Well, they can get one tackle, which like I said, package wise, FSU is going to be able to compete, offering pretty good packages to whatever player they want now. So, with that being said, I think you become a destination for at least serviceable, good offensive tackle. So you just need one. I think you just need one offensive tackle. Personally, I think you'll be all right with just one. I mean, if you can get two, get two. But they're in a great spot. FSU's in a great spot. I haven't said that in almost 6-7 years.
I've never been as high on Florida. Like the phone calls that I think I know you get and I get now are not the same phone calls. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was, man, I don't know what we gonna do. You know, what's the record? Shoot, I think I may have put it out before the season. I got maybe 6 wins, 7 wins at max. You know what I mean? Going into the season, I didn't see a lot of wins. I wasn't able to see a lot of potential. Well, now with the emergence of Jordan Travis taking a huge step forward, which we asked him to do, with Trey Benson coming in and basically taking over the run back one spot, which we kind of saw in the offseason was going to happen.
Right.
You're looking at a loaded receiver group. You're looking at, the other team I missed on the schedule was LSU, but because they're going to be all right next year too. But no, but with a loaded receiver room, a loaded running back room, because you talking about Winston Wright next year, adds to that. You got Hakeem Williams in the recruiting, you're talking about an offense that is absolutely top to bottom loaded. You cannot find a weakness on offense.
Right.
And especially, like you said, if you're able to get a tackle in transfer in the portal, you're looking at an offense with zero weaknesses. That is a scary, 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 scary group, man. And so I'm looking at it and I'm saying, man, what would the sky literally is the limit. You know what I mean? And like you said, we ain't been able to say that about a Florida State team 14, 15, 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like around that, you know what I mean? Since Jimbo left, we haven't had a team where we thought, all right, they could compete for a playoff, they could compete for a championship.
And they could win the conference. I mean,
they could easily win it. And I think they were, I won't say easily, because Clemson is still Clemson. But again, man, I can't say there was a time where I thought the talent disparity was real big with Clemson. Where if you were going to beat Clemson, you had to play your best game in order to beat Clemson. I look at it now and I'm saying it's a little bit more even now. If not, maybe a slight advantage. You know what I mean? If I'm taking quarterbacks, I'm taking Jordan Travis.
Right.
I'm taking running backs, I'm taking Benson. You know what I mean? So now I'm looking at it, I'm saying it's not that they don't have the advantage player for player as they did previously. So now I can look around and say, all right, well, Florida State should be able to win that game next season.
Right.
That's a wonderful thing, man. And so, again, if you're telling me they have already shown their top 10 offense, and this year they've actually, based on numbers, their top 10 defense. You saying they're going to be top five offense? If you if you feel a top 15 defense,
we'll get into the defense, but you look at the adjusted numbers on FSU defense, it really wasn't that good once they adjusted those numbers for opponents. But I still want to see them make some staff changes on the staff, 2-3 guys maybe, to really get it.
They're just not going to do it, bro.
Well, no, that's not what I heard.
You sure? I'm just saying, I think with all of them,
I think you're going to get two or three staff changes. We'll see.
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I want them to, and that's a completely different thing. No, here's why. It is the only reason why. I do think there's something for continuity. I don't think them dudes all of a sudden learn how to coach. Right. I don't believe Adam Fuller's an awesome defensive coordinator. I don't think it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things I don't necessarily see. But listen,
put your glasses back on. Let's get Bailey say, put your glasses back on.
Hey, that was wild. I thought Shannon boys got so high at one point. I thought Shannon finna come across the table. I thought it was gonna get real on that. He absolutely should have too. Yeah, Skip would have had to get them hands that day. Definitely backstage. It would have been like, what's that North Carolina game where the dude was like, he talked about his wife.
Oh, yeah.
He came back. It was one less man on the podcast team. Yeah, it would have been like that. I'd have had to do the rest of that show by myself, but Skip would have been back on that show.
Absolutely.
But no, man, there's something to be said of continuity.
This defense has to be better. You got to get better coach.
They got to be better. I agree.
You got to get better coach from on the back end, especially with your cornerbacks. You got talent back there wasting, so you definitely need a new DB coach. But I think where they at offensively, I mean, this offense can be. I think Norvell putting up like 40 to 50 points when he was at Memphis with that offense. I think at worst case scenario, we're gonna be in some shootouts because this offense is gonna be able to go.
Honestly, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? Because again, I think if you tell us if who stop again, I mean, it's a scary thing to say, and I'm knock on wood. It's just hard to look at all the different players on both offense and on offense at every level and say who's you have an abundance of talent
Yeah.
on offense. Like you
Right.
literally have an abundance of talent on offense. You
Right.
got guys who are going to have to transfer out just because they may not see the field. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're adding pieces. You got 2 freshman wide receivers who are very
Mm-hmm.
good to elite. Hakeem Williams just got bumped into a 5-star. So you got a 5-star wide receiver coming in, and he looks every bit of the truth.
Yeah.
But you got Winston Wright coming back next season, who is a very good receiver in all respects, who was injured all of last season. Who I think, in my opinion, they redshirted almost. You know what I mean? Like I know we good, but we're gonna keep you out all season, get you 100% so you can come back next season strong. I think that was a plan from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's worked. He's happy as all get out. So now you're talking about Winston Wright. You still got Johnny Wilson. You still got Portier. You still got McClain. Like all these guys who have shown the ability to make plays when you need it to are now going to be back for another season in the same scheme, in the same offense, all knowing their skill set, also trusting your teammates. And that's why I said continuity from the coaching stand. If all the players are coming back, I don't think you can look at the coaches and say, yeah, but we're going to switch up on this defense coordinator. We're going to switch up on this.
Well, I ain't saying you. I'm just saying.
That's the only reason why I think, for me, I think continuity is an important thing, because I think you got all the players who have said, we buying in. We have bought into whatever y'all are selling. Cool. I don't think you could then say, yeah, y'all done bought into everything we selling, but these dudes ain't gonna be around for to see the end result. I just don't know how they can do it. Now, will they or should they? That's a different story. I think they should. I just don't think they will.
I think it's coming. I think you're gonna see 1 or 2 moves. I really do. I don't think.
Hey, I hope so.
Which I think would be a good thing. Probably need a couple new voices over there on the defense. To be honest with you.
Hey man, y'all leave Zay alone, man. I see y'all in the chat, man. Leave Zay alone. He an LSU fan. That's family, man. That's family. He just hit to support, man. He gonna rep his team like we rep ours, man. Y'all leave Zay alone.
But while y'all are here, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button.
Please hit that subscribe button, man. Zay has hit the subscribe button because he was here when we got there, so I know he don't hit the subscribe button, man. Y'all, if y'all in this chat, and hit the like button.
Yeah, tap the like a little bit. Anyway, where we at now? Okay, so I do think the offense is going to be elite, man. They do need to kind of get some defensive guys now. I think one, maybe 2 defensive backs, cornerbacks. You're going to need 1 cornerback, 1 safety, I think.
Safety, definitely.
Yeah, you need 1 cornerback, 1 safety. From I'm hearing, I'm pretty sure Akeem Dent is going to come back. So if you get Akeem Dent, Shaheem Brown, you still want to need 1 just in case for injury, because you want to raise your floor up much as possible. Want to keep raising your floor up. So, I can see another 10 transfers coming in, and I think they definitely going to push out. I think they've got the 6 now, so I think they're going to push out another 6. So you have enough scholarships, and man, it's go time for 23 Noles.
Think about that. Listen, and I'm only gonna bring this up just from the dichotomy standpoint. Last year, this same day, we were doing the fire in Mike Novell space. Same as starting one. This season, we talking about this same day, a year later, and we talking about playoff push and the possible national championship, and possible playing for a national championship if everything goes their way. I think, man, you got to give hats off to what Mike has been able to do, and just kind of getting those guys to believe in what he's selling. I didn't believe it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know Sam didn't really believe it either. You know what I mean? Because it was nothing really for us to kind of hang our hats on, right? There was nothing that we had seen in those first 2 seasons that said we're going to be good in year 4. I mean, there just wasn't nothing. There was nothing we had seen in those first 2 that said it. There was coaching mistakes. There was recruiting woes. You were losing out on your top recruit in your class to Jackson State. It was a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. Like I said, behind the scenes were piss poor. You didn't have any money. You know what I mean? Bags weren't getting dropped. I mean, look at even Jaheim Bell, right? Jaheim Bell talked about his recruitment when he first, you know what I mean? The reason why he didn't come to Florida State at the very beginning was because he thought Florida State was heading in a direction he didn't want to go.
Right.
That was what he said. These are my words. That's him. So he said they weren't, but now he can look back and say 3 years later, oh, no, I like where they headed.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like the direction they headed in. And that shows you really what this staff has been able to do, even against, you know what I mean, a lot of challenges and against with, a quarterback who I don't think anybody thought he was going to be elite, but he's now in the elite category. He's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. That's not even, you can't argue that. I said at
Right.
the beginning of the season he was better than AR. Y'all, people yelled at me, called me silly and all sorts of stuff. He's better than AR in college anyway. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a shout out to Mike, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to Mike because Mike has really, really, really shown his ability, man, to put together a good team, and that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what they're gonna be in 23 is gonna be special. And I actually expect one big flip on signing day. To be honest with you, I expect for us to lose one guy, and I expect for us to flip one guy. So it's my expectations going into signing day.
Hey, Blue Blaze say the defensive front needs more improvement.
That's true.
Like, okay, so I actually want to talk about that, right? With I think I don't know if he's already signed or not, but I basically bringing back your entire defense line. Verse ain't just made a decision yet, but I think from where everything that most people are saying, it looks like Verse is probably going to come back. I don't know if you heard anything different, but it looks like he's going to come back.
We'll see.
Outside of depth, you got Verse, Peyton, you got Briggs and Lovett and Fabo. That's a strong front four. That's why I really didn't mention when you talked about transfers we need to bring in. I only thought about really showing up that back half of the defense because I think if you are bringing back your entire D line, that just that group there, I'm not sure that's a
Well, okay. If you want to win the ACC, that group might get it done. Okay.
Very true. Very true. But they also added Jackson. But you got Jackson as well from Miami now.
Okay, if you want to win the ACC, that group will get it done. But I mean, if you're talking about winning a national championship, getting to the Final Four, competing for that championship, you're gonna probably need, one more Jared Verse, one more Lovett, Fabian Lovett. You're gonna need another one of those type of guys. You know what I'm saying? Most good teams got 2 or 3 of those guys. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they still lose to Michigan or Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So. So you got to get some of those guys. You know what I'm saying? They got to get some guys.
1,000%. I 1,000% agree with you. I'm just saying that unit though is a very good unit. Now, should you add pieces? Again, I am not. Let me be very clear. I am not saying you should not add as many pieces. Stack the team. I mean, stack it. Everybody who wants to play for Florida State, defensive end, linebacker, DB. Hell, if another wide receiver want to come in and he dope. Man, just keep stacking talent. That's how, again, Georgia, Alabama, those teams stack talent. They got a 5-star. When one 5-star leaves to go take a break, another 5-star rolls in right behind them. There is no break in talent. So absolutely, if you can stack talent, man, by all means, stack talent. I think I'm talking from what they have presently on the roster. I think they have a good front four. Again, this is assuming the guys who we think coming back will come back. We'll see. We have no idea. But if they come back, come back. And if they don't, then hey, you definitely have to make some moves. But we'll see. I just want to talk about that for a second. Thanks, Blue Blaze.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. You good. I was finna say. So you asked like what else do we need though? From again, looking at the team, I think there's a lot. Outside of DBs, I don't think there's a lot more needs on there. So it's really not even really what else do we really need? What else do we want? What do you think will take this team from, all right, they're going to win the ACC. We think they're going to probably win the ACC or be favorites. What takes them to, I can see them winning. I can see them competing with, whoever's Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, they're probably going to be in the mix. USC going to be in the mix next season. You know what I mean? Like, what takes us to that level to get us to compete with those teams?
Offensive line. Defensive line.
True.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, offensive line, defensive line. That's basically what's going to take you to that level of actually winning a national championship. I think I put a tweet out earlier this week. I was like, how many NFL players do you actually need to actually win a national championship? I think the number might be around. I think what's his name? Last God of Krypton is his name on Twitter. I
Mm-hmm.
think he said 10 per recruiting class. And I actually kind of agree with that. He's trying to say that you have to have potential NFL guys behind the starters, basically. He's saying 10 per recruiting class. So if you bring in a class of 20, it should be 10 every class. And I actually kind of agree with that because if you look at the last 10 national champions, it's kind of been like that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, right? So I was trying to think of the team. That's what I was trying to think of the teams who are winning, who are in the Final Four this year, and all of them got, they probably got about 10. So then I guess when we look at
So
our team, and
so
so I'm
you
looking at it from our perspective, right? How many NFL guys we got? 4, 5,
I think you
6, 6.
well, I don't want to get into that conversation because all I want to do is win the conference. I'm all about winning the conference. And I
That's
think
where
you
you
got enough to
about.
do that. Yeah, I think you got enough to do that. I think if you win, I think winning the conference should be the goal next year. I think anything above that is icing on the cake. I think if you
But
make the playoffs, that'd be great.
I agree. Now I 100% agree with that. I just think this conference is ass.
Yeah, it
Winning this
is.
conference ain't no feather in the cap for me.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm saying, and that's why what I mean. That's why when you like is winning the conference is the goal for me. No, Clemson can again. Clemson has shown that they are not Clemson. I called at the beginning of the season. Clemson was going to take a step back. You can't lose all those good coaches and still maintain that same level. And I think we saw a lot of Dabo being Dabo this season. A lot of poor QB play, which has been their problem for a long time. Guys a whole lot smarter than me keep analyzing their QB plays and how their QBs regress. We've seen it with Ugalele or Uongalele. We've seen it with him. I think we'll see it with this other dude too. Just because we also saw it with Trevor Lawrence, and I don't think this kid is Trevor Lawrence. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, all right, the goal is to win the conference. But that's bare minimum.
Yeah.
With basically with the offense that they fielded, winning the conference should be forget the goal. That's given. You know what I mean? Like this should be we're gonna win the conference. What next? Yeah, and that's how I'm hoping the team is looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they looking at it like they can win the whole thing, which that's the way competitors are supposed to look at it. But for me, that I take a step back and look at all of it, I'm like, win the conference. Just win the conference I think that's the big deal. I think that's the prize, in my opinion. You win the conference, everything's worth it, and I think it prepares you forward to bring in like a top 6, top 8, top 10 recruiting class.
Whoa, wait a minute. Sam got the boys in the top 10 in recruiting?
Well,
top 6?
With how they're with what you would do, with the way you should be able to recruit this offseason.
We ain't got no.
And then you back that up with an ACC championship. I think you should be able to bring in a top 8 recruiting class.
I need somebody. Listen, somebody write that timestamp down. We're gonna bookmark that for a second because we need to reference this in a couple of days when we go back and look at this because man, I don't think Sam ain't never predicted them to have top 10. So clearly,
I mean, they're more organized than they've been in the last 4 years.
They have. And I'm just I agree with them.
So that's why the whole time
I've always been a little higher. I've always been a little higher.
Yeah, but every time people will say this stuff, they're gonna do this in recruiting. We've done this like 2 years, 3 years, and I've been like, bro, it's not gonna happen. Like, what about behind the scenes are y'all not understanding? And I've been pretty consistent on that. Now that they do have their stuff together behind the scenes, I mean, yeah, I think they could bring in the top in the 24 class. I think they could bring in the top 8 class in the 24 class. I mean, the 23 class is going to be what it's going to be. I mean, maybe 14, maybe 15. Probably going to be the highest you touch. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is.
Even with the flip, you think gonna happen?
Yeah, even with that flip. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to see them. I would like to see them get a top 10 class. I just don't think they're in it for those type of kids yet.
No, that's fair, right? They're not there yet. Again, I thought this season I think helped set them up for next season, and I think that's what you're saying, right? This season in fixing their offseason issues in winning on the field, showing that you are now headed in the proper direction. You have
Right.
a really good quarterback. You're showing that you can pull guys out of the transfer portal to fill out. I think you have a lot of positives. So I think next season you can now step foot in some of these top guys' living rooms and
Right.
not just be a waste of their time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's not all right. We're gonna hear Florida State out because he came to my school, but
Yeah.
I don't really care to hear from Florida State. But I think that changes next season, and that does allow you to get into the top 10, top 8 of recruit next season, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like I say, win the conference, and I think a lot of stuff will take care of itself. So win the conference.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Miami is organized behind the scenes. I mean, they have their money in
Miami got the
line.
money. Yeah, I'm finna say Miami got the money in line. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that ain't nothing to poo poo. That's a good thing. If
No,
you,
it's exactly what you're
yeah,
supposed to do.
I mean, I don't know. Like people keep saying, "Oh, don't only reason Miami getting these players because they got money." Well, okay, we need to have money too. What's the problem?
Well, I think now we do got money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we got bread. Yeah, and
So I'm
so
just
now we
saying,
able
like,
we able to play in those same games.
I don't know why
Yeah.
people get all, I don't know, man. Phantom is crazy. We was saying all, I ain't gonna get into all that because I'm gonna come back being negative again. But people say some dumb stuff sometimes. Like
I love our fans, man.
recruiting isn't well they got this, but they ain't this and they ain't that, man. Bring the players in, man. All that shit can figure itself out once the players get here. Like all this, what this ain't going that. Well, I much rather have the players in. I much rather have them on campus than not. Don't care how you
Right.
get them there.
I don't even care if you can coach them.
Yeah, what your boy say? What your boy say? Money, clothes, and hoes. No. Money, clothes, and hoes. Is all I know.
That's all I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So we straight, man. We straight. We good. We
Yeah,
good.
hey man, it's up over here.
It's
Hey,
up. We good.
what's the hey, tell them we back up. Yeah, tell them we back up, man. Yeah. What Stringer Band told them? Hey man, go out there and tell them boys we back up.
Yeah, let them know we back up. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
good. So but let me see. Last we're gonna touch on the bowl game real quick. How you feeling about the bowl game?
Should be a layup.
I think so too.
Should be a layup. I mean, listen, they basically set Oklahoma up, basically. You know what I mean? Oklahoma has really struggled this season. They are missing like 8 starters, including the running back who went for like 1,400 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to see FSU in Oklahoma. They knew that. You know what I mean? They wanted to see those two brands put together. So they basically set Oklahoma up for the okie doke. And they're going to have to come take this ass whooping and going up the road. Right. But I think this is a layup, in my opinion, which is great. This should get us to, you know what I mean? Which is great because it gets you to 10 wins, which is a lovely, it just looks good, you know what I mean, on the schedule.
Right.
It looks good when you can reference back and say, man, you put together a 10-win season. I think 10 wins is the mark of good teams.
Right.
You know what I mean? Good teams win 10 games. So I think you can definitely say, yeah, definitely. I think you can say, hey, Florida State was a good team this season. They're part of one of the good teams this season. I think you finish, you know what I mean, top 10, and you go into next season top 5. You know what I mean? With what they'll be bringing back, it all sets up perfectly. So I love the bowl game. I love it for the players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them being able, like, I thought about it. Right? What has been 3 years since these guys been to a bowl game?
2 years.
2. Did they go Willie? No, they didn't go Willie last year.
They went Willie last year.
After when Willie got fired. Yes, I mean, it's been 2 years, so it's a lot of guys on this team who have not been to a bowl game. You know what I mean? A lot of guys who don't know the experience. So the fact that they get a shop, they get a swag bag, they get to go to Orlando. You know, they're gonna probably take them to Tampa and let them ride some stuff at Busch Gardens. It's just a fun time for those guys, man. I really like it for the kids. You know, really not even. Oklahoma's just gonna get, Oklahoma gonna get a dog. I mean, they're gonna just probably, in my opinion, I think they'll get their ass whooped. But just because I think they weren't good, and 2, they're missing too many players to compete.
Right. Yeah.
But so from me, I'm thinking I'm looking at it more from a player standpoint. I think they're gonna really enjoy it, and it looks good on that column to say, Florida State went 10 and something last season.
Yeah, and beat Oklahoma. Yeah, that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Teal Dog say, I don't care how bad Oklahoma is hurt. They make me cry. So many tears over the years. It's time to dishes. Hey, I'm with you, man. Listen, when they said Oklahoma and they started announcing all of them players, I'd normally be like, no, I want to see him in full strength. Nope, no, I didn't. I want to see us roll up 60 on Oklahoma in a bowl game on national TV. I want to see it. I don't care about. Listen, Oklahoma has done us wrong too many times. It is time for us to get some get back, and I'm with you, Till.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to some of these questions here. We got. Yeah, I'm gonna say this about the Bain situation. That kid was never coming here, but you do have to recruit the kids anyway. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I have been saying. Happy birthday to everybody. Probably not. That's not really who I am. But coaches do stuff that I, quite frankly, they get paid millions of dollars to do.
Bro, I hate it, bro. I like.
I'm gonna be
I
honest with you.
again.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go
No,
because
no,
I
no.
got
You
a rant.
go.
I got a rant
Okay,
for
well then
college.
let me mine off, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
mine
Go
ain't gonna
ahead.
be nearly as bad. Dog, we got to stop this. Like it's, it look for me. It feels cringy, right? Like I
Yeah.
look at it and I say, the players know this is bullshit. Like the mama know it's bullshit. The family know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
We all are seeing the same. Like nobody wants to do this.
All right.
Don't show up to my birthday party if you not really if you don't really want to be there. Like
Yeah.
this it's silly to look at. Man, I hate it, bro. Like when I tell you I hate it, I hate it. All these birthdays. I watched Nick Saban do the cha-cha slide, I think at one family member house. Like these cats don't be one. Nick Saban got a lot of money, a lot of houses, and a lot of and do not have time to be doing cha-cha slide. But Nick Saban and has won a lot of championships. And y'all got Nick Saban in y'all living room doing the cha-cha slide to get a player. It's why I would never be a college coach. I have no way on earth. Y'all be like, hey, you want to come cha-cha slide at my grandma's house for this recruit? Hell no, I ain't going to cha-cha slide at your grandma's house for this recruit. Like,
Right.
bring back pride. Bring back pride, man. I want bring
Yeah.
back some goddamn pride.
I
I'm sick of this shit.
I kind of. I'm be honest with you, man. I really don't like where college football is right now. Like I really, and I know this gonna sound like I'm a curmudgeon. Maybe I am a fucking curmudgeon, but god damn it,
You are.
I hate what college football is, dude. Like you know, we're gonna have eventually fucking 10 football teams in the playoffs because 10 fan 15 fan bases need to feel like they got a chance to win it all. When it's really gonna boil down to like 3 teams. And that's just the way it's been. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always gonna be. And I hate that part of it. Now we got everybody and their mama jumping in the portal every year, which I'm fine. Kids can go in the portal. I get it. You made a bad decision. A coach left. You need to go in the portal. I get it. But man, 1,000 kids is in the damn portal. 1,000 kids is in the portal. Joy Gatewood is on like his 25th. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. At some point, man, you just can't play. You just can't. It's not the situation. It's you. You can't play. When you get to your third, fourth, and fifth team, you can't play. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's getting ridiculous. Some people are meant to just go to college. You got a free education, go to a college, go there, graduate, and be done. You shouldn't be. And now we got 26-year-olds gonna be playing football next year. Some of those gonna be on our team. But it's just all across college football is just it's just so weird, man. It is such a weird place. Recruiting is fucking cringy as hell. You know, I mean, you got coaches, diabolical coaches that have had people killed on coaching staffs. It's just all this stuff is so cringy and just disgusting sometimes. And sometimes I just have to take a real break from it. College football is in a weird place, man. I wanted to find some type of consistency personally, but I just hate where it's at. To be honest with you,
Where I'll agree with you is the portal is crazy.
dude,
Like
all of it's
kids are
crazy.
making up their decision. Like they going in the portal like 3-4 games in. Like, all right, you know what I mean? This didn't work out. I'm out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like there's no, these call it the college try. There is no even college try. It's like
yeah.
I feel like coaches got to walk on eggshells in order to keep some of their players. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I get the part of the way to keep a coach accountable is by having a portal. But then at the same time, you can't
But they
even
not. But we're
develop.
not doing that no more though.
But kids ain't even developing. Like you just got like not people can say Texas A&M is disgusting or whatever man, and Sam McCall wasn't with the program whatever man, but it's like like Buster Davis when he was at FSU he went home but had to come back, so he
I
would have
hope.
never been a great player had he not come back, and it's just like sometimes it's like nobody wants to do the hard thing. It ain't just the players though; it's the coaches too. Nobody wants to do the hard. Oh, I can't coach this kid. I'm kicking him off the team. I'm on to force him into the portal. Like nobody want to do the hard thing. It's all of college football. This is not just the players. It's the coaches too. Oh, I don't get along with this head coach. I'm off the staff. I'm going to I'm looking for the next job halfway through the season. Like all this shit is like so disgusting at all times to me. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know, man.
No,
Maybe I'm just a
I'm with you.
curmudgeon.
No. But see, I'm with you, right? Because I felt like that with Sam McCall. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
felt like Sam McCall came in, was a quote unquote 5-star,
yeah,
and he thought he was gonna just get the job, and
right.
he didn't. Players played better than him. I don't look around and felt like, boy, we really needed Sam this year. I hope his
Yeah,
people ain't in here listening. So I'm gonna talk about your son a little bit. I think I don't ever think he was a true 5-star.
yeah,
That was my opinion from the beginning. And the reason why I say that is because 5-stars can't be hidden.
right,
You can't hide Jalen Ramsey, LaMarcus Joyner, Tim and Jernigan were 5-stars.
right.
There was no way possible you were going to not have them on the field. Here's the other thing that I looked at when people was like, oh, no, Sam was being mistreated and all sorts of stuff, and Sam was talking about himself being mistreated. Dog, this was a crucial year for Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell came in this season firmly on the hot seat. I think everybody knew that. Mike knew that. So if Sam McCall could play, you don't think he'd have been like, yo, why ain't Sam on the like it's going to help you win if in fact he thought he would help him win games. It's just not. I'm not looking around and saying, "Oh, Sam McCall got a raw end." Sam McCall came in with a little bit of entitlement, with a little bit of privilege, and therefore
Yeah,
decided that he didn't have to give the same level of effort, which is why his players, his teammates, all hung that orange jersey in his locker room
yeah,
and all gathered around and said, "You were the problem."
yeah.
He
But
didn't have not one ally. You didn't have not one ally who came
well,
his defense.
I'm gonna say this though. I mean, who knows? Like, who knows what was said to him? Who know? Like, I heard.
You still got to work.
You know what? Though I don't want to get into
Recruiting,
all
they
that.
lied, dog. They
But no,
lied.
but okay, but the coaches though, but I'm saying though, where we at in college football in this day and age, you can't lie to these kids because they're out of your program in a year. They're out of your program in 8 months.
But
So
here's the
you,
thing: if I lie to 5-star Sam McCall and tell Sam, boy, you every bit you the best thing since sliced bread.
right,
You come here, don't play.
right,
I've lied to him, but it's still up to Sam to go out here and prove I am every bit of what I told you were. And
right.
what I'm saying is those two things didn't happen. It
But
still
I'm
takes
saying,
both sides to do it.
but my problem is I'm not trying to take nobody's side. My point is with all of this stuff is it's all ugly behind the scenes. All this shit with these kids and these coaches is all because these coaches are just as full of shit as these kids are. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Then people get mad because the kids being so super emotional. Well, damn, you're a grown ass man. It is your job to manage the football team, the personalities on that football team. That is what coaching is. But because you don't have to deal with the kid like that anymore, it's like a lot of the personal touch is kind of gone a little bit. So coaches are not stuck with their 85-man roster anymore. Kids are not stuck to their 7 to 10 position coaches anymore, right? Everybody got all this freedom of movement and flow, and then these people got newspapers and media groups that can write their side of the story to make them look better and make you look worse. And like it's all just ugly as fuck. All of it.
You've never sounded older in your life.
But I'm just saying it is though. It is. It's just a fact.
You right, you right. But
It's just a fact.
you sound like the hey man, get off my lawn. You sound like the
Well,
old dude
I'm
get off
just
my.
saying,
You
like,
100%. Again, I'm
it's
not gonna deny
disgusting
anything you
work.
just said.
It's
It is.
disgusting work because
It's nasty behavior.
you got people like, and I told somebody this. I got like a little cousin. All right, he a pretty good defensive back. He can recruit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I don't took him on a couple of a visit here and a visit there. Talk to he tell me certain stuff coaches say, and I tell him, I say, well, that coach gonna get fired. That coach gonna get fired. That coach don't run the scheme that you like or that you need to be in. You know what I'm saying? Um, but eventually he's gonna make a decision on where he want to go at. You know what I'm saying? And the thing I'm gonna tell him is kind of the same thing Rob DeLoach told his son. Hey, go wherever you want to go, but when your ass get there, go to work, because your ass ain't leaving.
But see, understand that's the difference, right?
But I'm saying,
because
but
here's the Kalen DeLoach that came into Florida State is not the same Kalen DeLoach that we see today. That shows you Kalen DeLoach worked his ass off to get here.
Right. But the point is though, my whole point is, it's like all of college football, all of this shit is so disgusting at a lot of different points. And now it's even more discussion now because you got fans basically pitching money in to get these players. So now these fans feel even more emboldened to talk shit about these players when these players do the things they want them to do or be the way they want them to be. And, it just creates a very toxic, negative culture within the sport, in my opinion. But at the same time, I love college football. I think I'm always going to love watching college football. But I will say that some of this stuff just comes off just very nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think grown men, 35-year-old, 40-year-old men should have such a hard opinion on 17, 18, 19, 20-year-olds that's trying to figure it out. Because I know, and I was 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I was trying to figure things out too. And, you don't stay at the same job. Shit, for 4 years when you come out of high school. You don't be doing the same thing after 3 years when you come out of high school. You make terrible decisions. So, I'm just saying, I don't like where college football's at sometimes. It pisses me off.
I'm with you. I'm 1,000% with you.
So, and I don't think a kid becomes a 5-star unless they want to work. And I don't think a kid becomes a top 250 player unless they've put in a lot of hard work, done a lot of free labor to get there. You know what I'm saying? That's not a lazy kid, right? It's not a lazy kid.
I'm not saying lazy. I'm saying,
well, no, I'm reading from the comments. No, I'm reading from the comments, and I'm saying that's not a lazy kid. Now,
I'm not saying lazy.
Does that kid buy into what you selling? I think that's a bigger part of it. Now, you got to find guys that's like-minded. The thing about the NFL is, the player is already bought in because he's a professional. Right? When you get an NFL player, this is his job. He's already bought in. Now there are levels, right? There are maniacs like Tom Brady, maniacs like damn, I'm trying to come up with somebody else. Aaron Donald. There are maniacs of commitment, right? Then there's guys that professional that get up at 6, work out, be done by 4 or whatever, do their job. So a coach don't have to come in and ask for commitment. He don't have to come in and ask you to buy in. You either buy in or you find another fucking job. Or I'm gonna force you out of here, right? That's the NFL, right? So when I always find it funny when people be like, oh, that kid, this dude lazy. An NFL player is lazy. He ain't making a play because he's lazy. Well, Josh Allen ain't lazy. He just probably ain't good enough, right? I don't think it's an effort thing with Josh Allen. I think he's not good enough right now. And he's not, until he get better, then he's going to be doing bad stuff. But I think in college, you're taking impressionable minds. You got to remember that. You're taking an 18-year-old from his house. It's an impressionable mind. So you're taking that kid, and now you're trying to put him into a culture to get him to work and do the things you want him to do. A lot of that does become about coaching, does become about the infrastructure of your program, right? So, honestly, when kids leave a program, I don't really hate the coach for it. I don't really hate the player for it no more. I just kind of feel like everybody just need to do what's best for them, you know?
100%.
Because
Yeah, I don't.
ultimately,
Yeah,
everybody's accountable for what you do, right? Because if you can sit on a bench or not play because a coach has a personal vendetta against you, and that does happen. Coaches have vendettas, and a coach don't want to play you. Your position coach don't want to play you, or he badmouth you to the head coach constantly, and you don't play. You gonna sit there for 3 years and just not play? You had a short window to make the most of your career.
yeah.
So maybe you need a fresh start somewhere.
I'm a, where I'm gonna push back a little bit. Work ethic is a thing. Everybody don't have a strong work ethic. Everybody like you work on a job, Sam, and it don't make them lazy. It just don't have the same drive and motivation you got. You work with people who come in and they gonna half-ass it. They gonna collect the same paycheck you collect at the end of the day when you doing all the work. Those people exist, and those people exist at 18. So I'm not gonna say the kid is lazy. I don't. And again, I want to be very clear. We're no longer speaking about Sam McCall. We're talking in general at this point. Um, there are kids who come in and just don't have the work ethic.
Right.
They've been told, and I've know this just because I know. Again, I've coached these kids, these same grade kids. So there are kids who have been told they were hot shit from the time they've stepped on the football field at 5 and 6 years old. They were bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody they ever went up against. And so as they got older, they were still bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody they went up against. And then become a high school recruit and they 5-star. And then now they're still, being talked about as if they hot shit and they get invited to the Under Armour All-American game and they get cocky. And now, if they've never had that work ethic because they've never had to work for it, they're not gonna get to college and all of a sudden flip a switch and decide they're gonna work for it.
I just
Those kids exist. I'm
I
not
don't
talking
I
from
don't
Sam McCall. I'm
no
talking
no
from
no I
kids
just
I know.
no I get that, but I'm saying I think when you're talking about a top 1% of high school football players, which is like what makes up the 250 and the 500 kids, I don't think those kids I don't think those kids got there by entitlement. I just don't.
No, they didn't get it by entitlement. They got it by talent.
Right. But I'm saying when you
But they
talking
don't mean
about,
they necessarily worked hard to get it. I'm telling you,
I
I know
mean,
kids
you're
who are
not gonna.
currently being recruited who have very little to piss poor work ethic. They are elite. They were God given, born with elite level talent. So if you line them up on the football field, they're
Do you
gonna just
think?
be better than the dude in front of them.
Okay, but
It
do
ain't
you
gonna
think
matter
a
because again, a lot of them high school kids are not going to college to play football.
do you think
It's
a
a lot of them
lazy
kids who
do you think a lazy football player gets to Georgia?
yes.
I don't think that's true.
I'm not again. I'm not speaking from an
I don't
opinion.
think that's
I'm
true.
speaking from I know a lazy kid in Georgia. I'm saying
Nah.
like
You think a lazy kid gets to play for Kirby Smart? You
yes,
think you? Yeah,
yes,
I don't believe that.
yes, yes. Because
I
if
don't
you are
believe that.
going off the fact that he is the number 2 defensive end in the country,
You think
you don't
Kirby
know the
Smart?
fact.
You think Kirby Smart
I'm
is?
not saying Kirby specifically. I'm talking
What do
again.
you?
I
What
don't
I'm?
want to call play. I'm not calling anybody. No, I'm not saying a team. I'm not saying anything. I am saying specifically there is 100% kids who are lazy, kids who have never had to work at being great at football. I'm
Yeah,
telling
I
you,
don't
they
think
were
you
good.
get. I don't think you get to these Power Five schools and you're a lazy. I just, I just don't believe that, man. I
I'm
don't
telling
believe
you
that.
of kids who I've coached, kids who
Okay,
I've seen, and kids who are currently being recruited right now who
I,
absolutely do
I don't
not
believe
have
that.
a strong
I
work
don't believe
ethic.
that.
And again, I'm just
Now
telling you from what
define your levels of work ethic, because everybody, what you might consider work, what some people might consider
I'm
work,
saying
ain't.
kids who don't practice. I'm saying kids who show up in practice and half-ass it, and then get to the game and ball out because they are bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody in front of them. And so, therefore, when the
And
game time
and
comes, they look good. And
and
those
you,
kids are being currently recruited by Florida State, Georgia, Ohio State,
yeah.
Alabama, Mississippi State, and everywhere else. I'm telling you.
I don't think Kirby Smart, Ohio State background searches when they do backgrounds on these kids will allow them to take a kid like that and put up their football program. I just don't believe
Okay.
that. I just don't believe that.
Okay.
I just
Look
don't believe
again.
it.
Look at the comment, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling
they can
you.
say that. They can say that as much as they want. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Maybe
I
you
know
end up at
again.
an
It's a
HBC.
bad thing to.
Maybe you
No,
end up at an
bro.
HBCU,
No.
but you
Nope.
ain't ending up at no Georgia.
Okay. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. I'm
You
gonna
ain't
paint a
doing
picture for
that.
you. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. If you are,
You ain't gonna half-ass your way to Alabama, bro. It's just no way, bro.
if
They taking top tier kids,
Sam,
bro. There's no way.
a
There's no
top tier
way.
kid, you do know a top tier
You
kid is
have to
six
work
seven.
to get good. You have to
No, you
work.
don't. See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So you don't.
That's
There
not
are
true.
kids who
That's not
did
true.
not
You
work.
have to lift weights. You have to run. To get fast, you have to lift weights, man. You have to practice. You don't walk out of the bed, walk onto a football field and just decide, oh, you know what, I'm better, faster. Like
I know kids who do. You ain't been
no,
down to
and
Miami recently.
that kid ends up at a warehouse talking about how fast and strong and fast he
But
was
he
when
won't
he's in
end up
high
at the
school.
warehouse. He gonna end at the warehouse
That's
through
where that kid
Alabama.
ends up at.
But he's gonna end up at the warehouse through Alabama. Alabama is gonna filter him out.
All right,
Florida
man.
State is gonna filter him out because that's where the first time he's gonna have to work.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? The first time he's gonna have to work is when he gets to college, and he is not, and it's gonna take him by storm because he's never had to work before. I promise you,
it's not true. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. It's
listen,
just not
y'all.
True.
Listen,
It's not true.
where
You
would
don't
at
become ranked.
slightly different, at slightly diff B, and at more life one. Y'all tell that man that don't give him no names. But I got a lot again. When I'm talking to Sam, I'm running through names in my head of people. I'm running through current recruits right now of kids who I know when they get it is going to be a rude awakening, and I pray they develop that work and they decide they're going to get it. But right now they don't have it, and they are going to struggle. I'm telling you.
I think work ethic is different depending on the kid.
I'm not talking about work ethic.
No. You saying not working. You saying
I'm saying woke up like this. I woke up like this.
This is like what Anthony Edwards said when he was talking about working out for the Warriors. And he said he ran through his drills, right? They said, all right, run through these drills. He ran through the drills, right? They said, okay, we need you to run through the drill again. So he ran through the drill again. They said, all right, we need you to run through the drill again. So he said he ran through the drill again, right? He was like, you know, they were like, hey, now you starting to miss shots. What's going on? He was like, I'm tired. He said this drill went on for an hour, right? Mm-hmm. This one drill went on for like an hour. Mm-hmm. And they told him, they say, Kevin Durant can do this drill for almost 2 to 3 hours and still continuously make shots during this drill, right? So he was like, oh, that's a different level of work to be a perennial all-star NBA player, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the knock on Anthony Edwards coming out of college was what? He was so athletic, so strong, so fast, he wasn't a hard worker. That's what people kept saying about him, right? And they came and said, nah, he is a hard worker. He just has never pushed his body past a certain limit before, right?
But I'm not talking about that person. Okay. I'm not talking about a player who's willing to work. I'm talking about a player who has never worked.
This is my point, though. This is my point by me saying this, right? They was calling Anthony Edwards lazy. This was a knock on him going into the NBA draft, that he was lazy. And so when he was answering the question after his rookie year, because he got rookie of the year, they were like, how did you get rookie of the year? And they kept calling you lazy. He said, no, y'all definition of lazy is different than the definition of lazy in the NBA, right?
I'm talking the true definition of lazy, sir.
No, you talking about y'all trying to pretend people can fake it to a high level of athletics. That's just not true.
I'm not saying they can fake it to anything. I'm telling you, they are born athletic. There are certain players. There's a 6'7". If you are 6'7", 225 pounds, and you are built with you eat right or whatever it is, and you got a decent body structure, you are going to dominate high school kids. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get on NFL. You're going to get on college coaches' radars, right? And you know who's going to be on those radars? Alabama, Georgia, whatever it is. And you may not have ever worked with the dude after practice. You never worked with anybody. Your routes are terrible. You have absolutely nothing to improve your skill set, and you will still go out there and get a whole bunch of yards in high school. And you know what that's going to do? Put you on a roster. It puts you on team's radar.
I'm finna end this conversation.
You will flame out.
I'm finna end this conversation. When you go to Alabama, before you go to Alabama, how do you get a scholarship there?
The coach sees you.
Where he see you at?
in high school.
No, that's not how Alabama offer you. How do
You're right.
how?
They're
Okay,
gonna see
better
him
yet.
in. You're right. They're gonna see him in middle school where
No,
he's
no,
gonna
no,
be even more dominant.
no. When before you get a offer, a scholarship offer at Alabama or Clemson or Jimbo Fisher or Kirby Smart, where do you have to go to get that offer from?
The campus.
Camps. Why do the coach want you to come to camp?
Oh, that's not it. That's not it. That is definitely not the answer. If you think they can't, they're
Okay,
gonna dominate in camp.
all right,
They're
bro.
gonna
All right,
again.
all right,
They
all
are
right.
athletic. You look
Okay.
good in camp. They will look amazing in camp. I'm not talking about the kids I'm speaking about will look amazing at everybody's camp. Don't change what I'm saying.
Bro, they put those kids through the gauntlet at them camps, bro. You think you gonna go in that shit out of shape, just jump out the bed and go to Alabama
I didn't
camp
say
and
they
just
was out of shape. I didn't say they was out of
you
shape.
think you just jumping out the bed and just go out there and just get comfortable?
Okay.
You know, that's even like somebody gonna put in the chat. Hold on, I'm gonna go to this name real quick. Somebody put this in the chat. Jamarcus Russell. He said, you think Jamarcus Russell is an outlier, right? As far as hard work, right? Go listen to Jamarcus Russell talk about working. Listen to the coaches talk about. Listen to Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban, and those coaches talk about Jamarcus Russell the way his work ethic was. Right? They would tell you.
I don't know if Jamarcus Russell's a good example. Jamarcus Russell was just bad. There's folks right now there are NFL quarterbacks right now who don't work.
Okay. All right, man. All right. Y'all trying to tell me professional athletes.
I mean, we can continue to go back and forth, but I'm telling you, you are incorrect.
They haven't offered that. Hold on. I'm gonna read this. Bama has not offered this kid yet. Right? He says Bama literally just offered this kid 6'7" middle schooler. Everybody throw out a bunch of offers, but I'm talking about that committable offer. That offer that says, hey, you coming to Alabama. To get that offer, bro, you got to come in and work out.
They are looking at the measurables. All them coaches are looking at the measurables, man. They think they are looking at the measurables. They're looking at how you perform against other kids your size and age and grade, and they look at the numbers and say, all right, he's dope. And then you don't know very much about him, and you assume they're gonna all say the right thing. They're gonna practice well.
Man said Urban Meyer say don't go to camp. Y'all really want to talk about?
I don't necessarily. Urban Meyer quit recruiting a long time ago. I don't know if we want to use Urban again. There's not a lot of good examples that are being thrown in this chat right now. Urban Meyer wouldn't be one. But what I will say is this, man. It's just again. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. Hold on. Look at that. Carlos Williams, what did he do in the NFL? 5-star. First of all, Carlos Williams was an excellent athlete at FSU and was a hard worker. He just didn't have a position. Some people, like, I'm going to say this right here. Some people, right, need a system, right? So if you look at Carlos Williams, he got to the NFL, he was a good running back, right? Let him run straight ahead. But Carlos Williams wanted to play safety, all right? Terrence Brooks was a better safety than Carlos Williams. Right? He's still a better safety than Carlos Williams. He got to NFL, he was a running back. He was a good running back in NFL. He got busted for steroids and whatnot and got out of NFL. Like, that's just how it works. He ate himself out the league. But he didn't get there being lazy. I think sometimes y'all think that you got to understand you're siphoning through a bunch of NFL players, a bunch of top athletes. Like, it's more than just having a work ethic. It's getting into a system. It's getting a coach that can put you in the right positions. Like, it's a lot of things that have to start off right. Like, people keep trying to say, like, even with Belichick, people keep saying, oh, Tom Brady carried Belichick. I'm like, Belichick drafted him in the 6th round. He developed him.
We got to figure out how to make phone calls on this thing, because I'm gonna start phoning a friend or something like that in these situations. Will you dig your heels in? Because I know for a fact. I want to name, like, I want to show you, because I want to, like, name names of kids who are currently on, like, who are going to good schools right now. I've coached them, and I know what they do and how they operate.
They showed a video. Like, They showed a video of Clay Devon Chason working out in the summer. Man, working his ass off. Man, get on a football field, can't do shit. You know why? He's just not good.
That's not the same. Again,
I'm just saying, it
you
ain't that he's
argue.
not a
You're not
hard worker.
arguing the same thing. I'm not arguing. We're not talking about hard workers who can't play. I'm telling you, there are players who can play who have never worked. That's what I'm telling you.
I just refuse to believe that. But okay.
All right. I know. It's a tough concept. I get it.
It's not. I know lazy. I've been on teams with lazy people. I've been on teams with people that just wake up, go to the gym, and start playing. I'm telling you, man, when those high school coaches and these people that's around that these colleges come talk to and ask them questions, they be like, that dude don't really love. That dude don't really, you know.
And you know what they're gonna do?
That kid ain't.
They're gonna look. They're gonna be like, yeah, he don't love it. He don't do this. But they're gonna look around and say, but he is 6'7", 370 pounds.
We in the weeds on this conversation.
We are. I'm never. You want to touch on Deion? You want to touch on Deion before we go, just to piss some people off or not?
What about Deion?
We all over now.
What thing about Deion?
You want to talk about Deion? How do you feel about Deion taking that Colorado?
See, look at this. This man say, "Come on, man. He ain't developed Brady." See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
I love, man. I swear, I love this part, man.
Belichick just over there, just relaxing over there. Brady developing himself over there.
man, Brady been out there, man. Listen, Brady been out there working his ass off by himself, man. In spite of Belichick, I'm with it. Yeah.
Hold on. You say Shaq is an example that Kobe called him lazy. He admitted it. Shaq was lazy compared. No, Shaq. Hold on. What the hell? What's going on?
Kanye is taking over the pod.
But Shaq was called lazy compared to the work ethic that Kobe had. Right or wrong?
Nobody had the work ethic Kobe had.
Exactly.
So Kobe's going to call everybody lazy.
He called a lot of people lazy.
Everybody lazy compared to Kobe. Everybody's going to be lazy compared to Kobe. LeBron, who we know is probably one of the hardest workers, we see because they all filmed. He don't work as hard as Kobe. Kobe was a ridiculous person. I don't know if these are good examples. I have heard Shaq say he wasn't working nearly as hard as whatever it is. I know what
he wasn't working as hard as Kobe.
I'm not talking about Shaq's. Even though Shaq is a decent example because he was bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody else, but Shaq did have to.
I think when you having these correlation conversations about top athletes, there's levels to work ethic. There's levels to work ethic. That's my whole point. Man, this is ridiculous. There's levels to work ethic. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying I know for a fact they're not lazy when you get to that level. Now,
and I know for a fact
but
they
then
are lazy.
There's a different level of work. Like the 2013 team would tell you that.
Sam, we're not arguing different levels of work. I know what you're saying. There are different levels. The Kobe and Shaq, I feel, are different levels of work. That's not what I'm talking about.
You're not becoming a professional.
I'm talking about.
You're not becoming a professional. You're not going to be a starter on a college football team. A college football team.
We currently have them on our team.
On this high level P5 football, and you're lazy. Oh. You may not work like the hardest worker ever, but you ain't lazy.
Okay. So that we can wrap this, I'm gonna say shout out to Deion, man, for taking that job over at Colorado and leaving them dirty ass facilities at Jackson State. No, I'm just playing.
Whoa.
I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. No, for real though, man. Shout out to Deion, man. I'm glad he's gotten on to the next level. I'm really sad that it really caused a lot of divide. You know what I mean, amongst HBCUs, amongst the culture, really, because I think we all knew from the beginning Deion was looking for a Power 5 job. So I guess I'm surprised where everybody else is surprised that Deion took a Power 5 job. So
I don't know. I really got not a whole lot to say about that because I just kind of feel like Twitter is just a cesspool at times. And I think if you pull I think
I wish I had a belt. I'd do 1,000 lashes for Deion.
I think people just want to be mad sometimes. But I think if you pull back the curtain and ask the athletic director at JSU, um, I think
1,000
they'll tell you that
lashes.
the being in the Deion Sanders business over the last 3 years was good for that school and it was good for the HBCU.
Period.
So I
Like
just think people.
he raised again. We the floor. He brought awareness. He did it. Like they got exposure. They got a deal. Dog, now take it and take it somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think in my opinion, this is me a little bit on the rant. I think had it went a little differently, you could have actually had Deion still championing for Jackson State and HBCUs. Had
right.
y'all, congratulate him on the way out, as opposed to saying we told you wasn't sweat. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
dog. You know what I mean? He brought exposure to places that wasn't, that really wasn't getting a lot of that wasn't getting a lot
Mm-hmm.
of exposure. I think he again, man. We just Jacksonville had a HBCU game here for the first time since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna put that article in the chat. Well, I'm gonna put it in the comment section, and y'all can read the article if y'all so do want to. About I'm gonna find it for y'all. Hold
Why I got to be out of pocket? What I did?
on. Ain't nobody swag.
What I did? I ain't said nothing. How am I out of
But
pocket?
man, I really appreciate everybody on the pod. I want to get back to trying to do it these weekly. It's kind of tough. My co-host here does have a baby. So I'm working on some things. I'm gonna see what I can do. See if I can get this pod done.
Yeah. Listen. I should be again. I keep saying it.
You
We've
got a
said it a
baby,
lot on
man. You
this.
can't be choppy.
We're gonna steal the time over here. You know what I mean? We're gonna steal the time. He quiet now, so I miss me. He sleep. You know what I mean? So hey, I'm gonna take the opportunity to do it. And shoot, we were supposed to do it. I think 2 days ago. I got home. I fell asleep.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna wear a Colorado hat because I only root for one P5 team. Uh,
Yeah.
Man, I'm done, man. Oh, sure, crazy man. And it looked
Here,
like
I'm gonna say that. Go
it
ahead.
looked like the winner of the college football pickings was my boy, Tay. Tay Hunter was the winner of college football pickings, bro. So if you DM me your information, man, I'll try to get you something. Got you.
I was
Appreciate
so
you.
bad in
Well, that's
fantasy
because you never did
football.
it. Well, you never did the pickums. You just
No,
never
no, no. The pick 'em,
participated.
I ain't do it. I would have won that. But
No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't have. The fantasy football though was boy. Whew,
Yeah.
whew.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did.
But
How
anyway.
about I started Trevor Lawrence last week? Trevor Lawrence gets me 30 something, and Reggie somehow still beat me.
Yeah, you suck.
It's bad. It's bad out here in the street.
But all right, man, this was a great pod, great episode. It was good to have y'all all back in here, man. Got to 100, man. Make sure y'all share the pod. Go to Apple, man. Find us on Apple. Find us on Spotify. Please subscribe, Apple. Rate us five
Hit that
stars
button,
on
man. We're trying
Apple.
to hit 1,000 before the season start next year, man. Before the
Yeah, we
season
do need to hit
starts
a
back, man.
thousand.
We need to be at 1,000.
Yeah, we need 1,000 subscribers. We need to get on there. I got to work with it. Somebody said we need to do every week. I'm gonna try to get back every week. I got to get with Nikki on so we do the show at What's Next. Talk about big time college football. I'm gonna get back. We're gonna get back, people. But we out.
We out.